What three words come to your mind when you think about Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez? For me personally, it's young, talented and courageous. Let's start with the first of those three words, and young, since the others will become clear as the video goes on. Bam Rodriguez holds the distinct accolade of being the first world champion ever to be born in the 2000s. But how did he do it? Pictured here with his brother Joshua, boxing has been a family affair for Bam, with his older brother previously having held the WBA super flyweight title. With this, the brothers have joined a unique group of boxing brothers who have held world titles simultaneously, with the most recent examples being the now dethroned Shigeoka brothers and the Inoue brothers. Bam chose not to prolong his amateur career and turned pro in 2017 at the age of 17. Because of this, he had to have his first few pro fights in Mexico somewhat under the radar. There was never a doubt that Jesse had a high ceiling, and blog posts and comments around that time reflected such sentiment. One of those who has always highlighted Bam's talent is his longtime trainer and former world champion, Robert Garcia. In 2019, Garcia said on an ES News interview that he believes Rodriguez will be a 5-division champion. Considering how many world champions Garcia has trained, this was truly high praise. After fighting on various promotional shows in his first 5 years of his career, including on top rank and matchroom boxing cards, Rodriguez finally put pen to paper and signed a promotional contract with Matchroom. He was set to fight the 10-1 Fernando Diaz. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Bam was set to fight Diaz on the undercard of the highly awaited rematch between Srisaket Sorong-Visai and Carlos Cuadras. However, Sorong-Visai had to pull out of the fight, citing illness. And so, Bam did the unthinkable and dared to be great. He stepped in against Cuadras on 5 days' notice and needed to move up a weight class to do so. And, well, we know what happens next.
Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez!
Bam had just stunned the boxing world. However, he had little time to celebrate his world title victory, as a formidable foe waited ahead. Of course, it was only right that Sorong-Visai had the title shot next, after the Cuadras situation. Many were concerned about the young Rodriguez being able to stay composed, especially considering the Thai ex-champ's reputation for being a big puncher, most notably beating one of Bam's idols, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, twice, and once by stoppage, for a brutal stoppage. Well, and boy, did Bam get revenge. When Rodriguez dropped Rungvisai in round 7, Todd Grisham used the quote, "out with the old and in with the new," and I feel this quote perfectly sums up what we've seen. By that point, he's already beaten 2 of the super flyweight 4 kings of the prior generation, so I see it as a passing of the torch. Now, Bam had 2 fights after this with Israel Gonzalez and Christian Gonzalez. I won't spend too much time on these, but some things to note is that in the fight with Christian Gonzalez, he was fighting for the WBO flyweight title, so he was moving down the weight and vacating his WBC title for Estrada to fight for. Part of the reason he outlined at the time for vacating this belt and moving down is he wanted his brother Joshua to do his thing at super flyweight, because he was also a title holder there, WBA at the time. Also, Rodriguez showed heart in the Christian Gonzalez fight, as he fought with a broken jaw and had to spend some time out after to get it fixed. Despite only having had 1 fight as a champion at the weight, Rodriguez would go straight into a unification with slick Brit Sonny Edwards. This was a highly anticipated fight, especially for the lower weight classes, and many fans were split on the outcome. However, once again, on the biggest stage, Bam Rodriguez left no doubt. Many fans were compelled by such an amazing performance against an undefeated champion, and therefore the questions come was what next? Instead of calling out the other champions in the division he just unified, Bam decided to call out the third of the 4 kings, one Francisco Estrada. the only man out of all the four to hold a win against all the others. And so it was on. Both were coming off career-defining wins. Estrada had just won the trilogy fight with Chocolatito, and Bam the Unification was certainly the weight below. It was another case of the old guard of the division versus the new blood of the division. Could Estrada resist the wave of change? That was truly a career-defining performance, coming off the canvas to brutally knock out the previously #1 man in the division. It's why we love the sport, and of course reclaiming the old belts that he vacated. But ultimately, what do you think it is that makes Bam such a special fighter? Is it the ramrod jab? Is it his use of angles to set up offensive opportunities? Is it how easily he's able to switch from offense to defense? Or is it all of those reasons, or a completely different one? Let me know in the comments below.